Our next speaker, Antonio Argüelles, is a man with a huge heart, which not only helps him with his amazing swimming accomplishments, but also causes him to be active in trying to improve the health and well-being of the youth of Mexico City. Welcome, Antonio.
The moment I held into that rock, a chapter in my life had finished. I had crossed the North Channel and completed Ocean 7. And I believe every one of us has a stone that we grab onto. And for me, that stone has always been swimming and sport. When I was a little kid in Mexico City, I went to a very strict school, the German school. Anybody gone to a German school here? God, I'm the only one. And I was always in trouble because I was hyperactive. And I was in trouble with my teachers, my friends. And one day, I saw a scene that changed my life. In 1968, Mexico City hosted the Olympic Games. And the 200-meter butterfly, breaststroke, was won by Felipe Muñoz. And when I saw Felipe with his medal, I said, I want to go to the Olympics and I want to win a gold medal. Those are the dreams that children have, because going to the Olympics and winning a gold medal is very complicated. I would find out later. Believe me. But swimming also gave me the opportunity to be an entrepreneur. In those days, we didn't have NAFTA. I don't know if we're going to have NAFTA next week, but in those days, we didn't have, in those days, we did not have NAFTA. And, but I was very happy supplying goggles, caps, and swimsuits, Speedo swimsuits, to all my fellow swimmers. And it was always also through swimming that I came to live into the States. I was basically adopted by a great family, the Lee family, Bill and Shirley, and I went to Los Altos High School. Mike and I were in the same high school. Paul Segre, I don't know if Paul was here, we were also here. Mike Gustafson went there too, and I played water polo and swimming. And then I came to Stanford, and swimming taught me a big lesson. When I came to Stanford, I wanted to be part of the swimming team. And I learned very fast that having goals and putting all your effort does not keep you there. And I couldn't make it to the swimming team, and my life changed. And I remember many Octobers back when I went to James. Is James Isaacs here? James, are you here? James! Hey, man! James was my roommate, and I came one afternoon and I said, James, I'm quitting swimming. He said, Tonio, what the hell are you going to do with your life? Fortunately, I had a lot of time, again, in my hands. When you're a long-distance swimmer, you spend about 6 hours every day. And I did other things like running, triathlon. And about 20 years ago, I went back to open water swimming. And 2 years ago, I said I would do the Ocean 7 challenge. I'm sure all of you know what the 7 oceans are, but for those few that don't, I will tell you what they are. You have to cross the English Channel. You have to swim from Catalina Island to Long Beach. You have to do the Strait of Gibraltar between Spain and Morocco. You have to do the Tsugaru Channel in Japan, between the two big islands. The Molokai Channel, from Molokai to Oahu. You have to do the strait in New Zealand, the Cook Strait, between the two islands, and the North Channel. And I want to share with you the 5 things, the 5 lessons that I learned about Ocean 7. Number 1 is that you're never too old to have dreams. People always ask me, why do you keep on swimming? And I do that for one important reason. That keeps the little child in me alive. So I can do crazy things. I can be a pirate. I can go in expeditions. So that keeps me thinking in all my swims, and I'll prepare for each one of them. I have a story that I tell. Number 2 is that we all have self-doubts. And when people talk to me, they say, well, for you it's very easy, because every time you go into the water, you know it's going to be easy for you. And self-doubt, we all have self-doubts. And for me, when I did the Molokai Channel, was a very important moment, because I never thought I would be able to swim almost 24 hours in one day. Well, if 24 hours as a day has 24 hours, it's going to be one day. My math is adding there. And my previous swim had been 18 hours. And when it was clear that I had to go all the way to 24, I had a lot of doubt. And I was able to overcome it. 3, you have fears. And everybody asked me, do you have fear of sharks? And I said, no, sharks and I respect each other. I don't go and poke into their eyes. And I'm sure they see me, and they say, well, if we're going to eat that guy, we're going to have an indigestion. You know, there's a lot of me. So we have a relationship that it's very, very respectful between each other. But what I fear is the cold water. And I'm sure all of us have fears. But it's not always that we say, I have a fear and I'm going to conquer that fear. And I had to conquer my fear for cold water. Number 4 is that pain is real. And pain can come in many different ways. But the pain that you feel from cold water is the worst. Because it goes into your hands and your arms. And it comes from your feet to your legs. And by minute 15, you don't feel them. And you have to be able to overcome that. But also, the most frightening thing for me, besides cold water, are the jellyfishes. And then when I was doing Molokai, I was stung all over the body. But the worst was when I was stung in my nose. And for an hour, I was crying, literally crying. And I couldn't do anything. So you feel a lot of pain, and if you want to achieve, sometimes you have to live with that pain. And finally, lesson number 5. The important thing is you have to enjoy the journey. And I'm sure all of you have done that with your life since we left Stanford. And in this Ocean 7 trip, what I enjoyed was being in Japan. I had a lot of self-doubt that I was going to be able to finish. And my daughter wrote me and said, Dad, I'm sure, I know you're very nervous. You might not do it, but don't worry, you're still going to be my hero all my life. And that day, my life changed in the water because I started enjoying swimming and enjoyed the trip. And I want to finish with a thought I'd like you to take home. We all have a rock. I'm sure you all have it. I have mine. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life from now on, but I'm very happy that I have swimming with me, which is my rock. Thank you very much.